loving well and living generously. That is when Ocean Hills is at its best. Now, I want to describe what we're doing on the first Sundays of the month. We're taking a break from the sermon series, the message series, and we're focusing on healthy missional markers of a healthy church. And this morning, one of those missional markers that we're highlighting is healthy churches have a core group of people that are experiencing a life-giving, real, authentic relationship that's transforming their hearts and lives with Jesus Christ. And we thought, who better than to come and share with us than Tanita Maddox and her ministry with Young Life and their whole mission to help students that are far from God come to know and love and follow and serve Jesus Christ. And one of our kind of strategies is, and I want you to really pay attention right now just for one moment, because I want to be as clear as I can. In our budget, we did something kind of radical, transformational. It's taboo in churches to touch the missions budget. It's like, you could touch everybody else, but don't touch missions. Well, you know what we did? We touched missions. And we actually, all of our local partnerships, we eliminated them out of the budget. You go, oh my gosh, how could you do that? But here's what we're doing. We are handpicking those local missions that we are absolutely ecstatic about, that we're huge fans of, that we consider the all-stars of this community, and we're inviting them into the platform and onto the platform to share, to cast their vision, to share with you, with us, how we can be part of their team, how we can partner with them. For some of you, you're going to be touched by Young Life. For others, by Jeff Schaefer and the Uffizi Project. For others, Tim Notehelfer. But what we're doing strategically, just so you know this, is we're saying, as Young Life comes and shares this morning, I really want you to be touched and to go up to Tanita after and say, I want to be part of your team. I want to volunteer. Or in your program, you have a card from Young Life where you can intentionally support their ministry. And we're bringing them in today because we want you to do that. I want you to know that. It's very important to us. I was challenged by one of our leadership team people a few years ago. They said, John, when we were talking about this mission issue, John, if you knew the amount of money that is going to the cause of Christ in missions outside of Ocean Hills by the people who attend Ocean Hills, you'd be blown away. If you think the only money that's going to missional efforts in this world comes through Ocean Hills in this church, you're mistaken, in fact. So I was part of a group and we went around, how much of the total giving do you give to Ocean Hills? And we went around. And there was nobody that gave 100%. More, there was different percentages, and it occurred to us, we want to bless you to keep blessing the missional efforts around the world rather than to try and control you and say, no, you got to give it to Ocean Hills and then we'll give to the mission efforts around the world. Are you hearing our heart? Does that make sense to you? If you're confused, come and see me afterwards and I'll explain it better. We have a video that's going to introduce you to Young Life, and then so thrilled. Tanita actually is the area director. She's part of our church family as well. She is the wife of Ashley, who makes all the incredible videos for us, although he didn't make the one that we did this morning, did he? Right? No. Yeah. Okay. So let's roll the video.
Since I wasn't raised Christian, I didn't really know that many people, and it was kind of cliquey. So Young Life just kind of helps me have a safe environment to learn about God, where it was kind of easy to understand, and everyone was really nice. It doesn't matter if you know God, if you don't know God, if you are a troublemaker, if you're a straight-A student, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you know people or if you don't. It's just an environment where everyone is safe and everyone's invited. The first time I went to camp, I still, even though I was following God, I wasn't really sure about a lot of things, and I wasn't sure if I believed this or if I believed that. And I think over that year, the time at camp and over that year, I really started to understand things and understand why this was this way and that was that way. And I really just fully believed everything, and it was just great. It was so much better to have like a full understanding of God and of Jesus and what he came to do. And Haley Smith is my Young Life leader. Haley is probably the greatest person I've ever met, and she has been so nice to me, and she's helped me learn so much about God and grow my relationship with God, and I just love being around her. She's like one of my favorite people. I'm probably gonna cry right now because I love her so much, and I love you. One of my favorite things that I do with Haley, every Thursday morning, our small group meets. It's me and then 3 other girls, and we meet every Thursday morning before school with Haley, and we just kind of talk about God and talk about life, and we're just all there for each other. God is just always there, and He knows me, and I think it's just great in terms of like self-confidence. If I'm ever like, oh, well, I don't like the way I look, or I don't like this about myself, it's just like, you know what, I don't care what I think, and I don't care what other people think, because God made me this way, and that's just how I'm supposed to be.
Like crying in the corner. I want to show that video is actually from 2 years ago. And the reason I want to show it because Evan is now a freshman at Westmont, and she calls Ocean Hills her church home. And Evan, I know, can you stand up and just get it? There she is. There, give a little wave to her. Just to show a little bit of like, that's who she was when she was in high school, and she's continuing to follow the Lord, and wants to go to a private school here in Santa Barbara, and this is her church home. So it's not just about reaching kids that are over out there, they come into our backyard also. What is Young Life? Young Life was founded in 1941, so there's over 7 decades of history and is over 70 different countries around the world. Young Life is actually a missionary movement to reach kids who come from unchurched backgrounds or became disinterested with the church at some point in their life. We're the arm of the church that goes after those adolescents, those junior high and high school students, to bring them into the church, to tell them who Jesus is. We work with students who don't think they want to know anything about who Jesus is. And we work with students who, if they have some kind of wanting to know about who Jesus is, they don't think about church being the place for them to learn about who it is. And so we as missionaries go into their world, a culture, a world that's not our own, with a language that's not our own, and a dress that's not our own. And anytime we get a little, like, wonder if that's true, you can wander into the student section of a football game and see how comfortable you feel and realize, I don't belong here. And so we do all that for the purpose of sharing Jesus Christ with our teenagers in a way that they understand. Young Life's vision is that every adolescent, for us here in the Santa Barbara area, will have the opportunity to meet Jesus Christ and to follow him. We have 3 different programs locally. We have Young Life for our high school students, and we're in all 3 of the public high schools, Santa Barbara High School, San Marcos, and Dos Pueblos. We have Wildlife for our junior high students. We actually have Wildlife here at Santa Barbara Junior High, reaching kids on the east side and around the junior high. And we also have a ministry called Capernaum, and that is our ministry to young adults who have developmental and or physical disabilities. Those are the 3 kind of ministries we have in Santa Barbara locally. And if you're wondering, how does Young Life reach kids? What exactly are they doing to reach these unchurched and disinterested kids? We have what we call the 4 C's of Young Life. Because they all start with C, and there's always C's added because someone said, well, what about the 5th C, Christ? You're like, okay, yeah, that's the given. That's like the who do you want to have dinner with in history. You can't say Jesus because everyone always says Jesus. No. So here are the 4 C's of Young Life. We've got club. These are our weekly gatherings where we use humor, music, fun, and there's all designed to break down the walls that kids put up so they don't take life or themselves too seriously, and they're freed up to listen to the gospel message that's at every club. We talk about who Jesus is. We talk about the definition and impact of sin. And we talked about what Jesus came to do through the cross and the resurrection so that we're able to have a relationship with him. In fact, all 3 of our high school Young Life clubs meet together at the Loft downtown. So thank you, Ocean Hills, for providing that space for us to be in. Our second C is camp. Young Life is known for excellent camping ministry. We take kids out of their everyday life and bring them to state-of-the-art resort facilities. They come into beds made literally mints on the pillows. They enjoy home-cooked food, all they can eat, shared adventures. They go with the leader that they've built relationships with here, goes with them, is there with them for the week, and then comes home with them. So they continue to do life and ministry together. We have campaigners, which is what we call our small group Bible studies. It's our discipleship ministry as kids begin to follow Jesus. This is their introduction. Most kids, when they meet in campaigners for the first time, have never opened a Bible before. And this is the first time they actually get to sit with a leader and help them understand that. And then there's contact work, which is the least tangible, but is the very backbone of what Young Life is. It's where Young Life leaders live out what we call incarnational ministry. They live out John 1:14. Just as the Word became flesh and moved into the neighborhood, so Young Life leaders move into kids' worlds, and we show up where they are, and in their coffee shops, at the mall, at their games, on the campus. The most common question I think I hear from students is, "What are you doing here?" Because it's their world, and we show up in their world. Because I'll tell you what, this isn't just for high school and junior high students. Everybody wants a friend that is older than they are, that's not their parents, to talk to about life, about Jesus, about real things that they're struggling with. And so Young Life leaders show up in their world over and over again and live out this verse, 2 Thessalonians 2:8. We loved you so much that we were delighted not only to share the gospel of our God, but our lives as well, because you have become so dear to us. Young Life leaders walk alongside kids in their world, life on life, sharing the ministry of Jesus Christ, sharing that they can have life in Christ. And I will tell you that though we say we are ministry to adolescents, we walk with kids after they leave high school. I just had ran into one of my old Young Life kids, and her and her husband, she just told me she came from her 10-year reunion, which I was like, great, awesome, that makes me old. But we're still friends. We still talk on a regular basis. I have Young Life kids who are in their 30s that we still talk about life together. So this is not just about reaching high school and junior high students. This is about living life with them as long as they want us in their lives. But it's one thing for you to share with you the 5 C's and this verse. I'd like to tell you a little bit what's happening locally here in Santa Barbara. We did something that we called 35 Days on Campus. I've got hair and jackets and necklaces. All this is getting all tangled. There were 35 days from the very start of school to our very first Young Life Club. That includes the weekends. And our leaders came up with this idea and said, what if there was a leader on campus every single day for the first 35 days? And how could we serve and pray for our schools in a way that would minister to not just our kids, but to the entire community? And so that's what we did. We invited youth pastors and community members to be a part of it and join us with this. But I can tell you, we were not perfect. We did not hit every day for those first 35 days. But I'll tell you, we maybe missed 1 or 2. And this ranged from bringing the office ladies donuts and wishing them a good morning, bringing coffee to the security guard, tutoring, taking tickets at the football game, cheering at practice, all sorts of things. There was someone on campus every single day to serve and minister to the schools. What's funny is I actually was in a meeting with a superintendent who didn't know about this, but said to me, this is the smoothest start we've ever had for our high schools. I said, I wanted to be like, you're welcome, we've been praying for you. What's amazing is that not only obviously are we getting a chance to minister to kids and be there while they start the school year, but the campuses have opened doors to us that are more open than I've ever seen, particularly at Dos Pueblos and Santa Barbara High School, where they're actually inviting us to be a part of their campus to the tune of too many opportunities for us to actually participate in. They want us there because they see the impact that we're having on their kids and on their community. Now, it's one thing for me to tell you about Young Life, but there's one thing you should know is that you just never know what's going to happen next at Young Life.
Hello, my friends! Yes, we are here! Hello, my friends! Hello, hello. Hey, good to see you. Hello, my friend. What's up? Hey, hello. Hey, what's up, Tanita? What's up, what's up, what's up? Yeah, we got some people clapping. You can clap. It's okay.
Keep clapping.
It's okay. Okay, cut it, DJ. Cut it, cut it.
Wait,
cut
hold
it.
on.
Oh,
No, Harvard,
sit. Good boy, good boy, good boy. Hello, my friends. My name is Pin.
And I'm Yata.
We love horchata. We wear chanclas. And you can't have a party without piñata. That's right.
Pete, my shoes are too big.
It's okay. Well, hello, my friends. Yes, you're all my friends. You're my friend, and you're my friend. 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 You're...
Take it easy.
I'm not done. You're my friend. You're my friend.
Hey.
You're my friend. You're my friend.
Hey.
Okay, I'll finish later. Go ahead.
Anyways, we are here.
Oh wait, it's my turn.
It is your turn.
Well, as piñata, we do some pretty standard things like we make donkey piñatas. Standard.
And we fill the piñatas with candy. Standard.
We drink horchata.
Standard. And we wear chanclas.
Standard.
But anyway, we are professional piñata professionals.
That's right.
I know, we're a pretty big deal. You guys are lucky that we are here.
Yeah, you're welcome.
But yes, welcome.
Let's see. Well, we heard there was some sort of gathering this morning.
Yes, and Young Life of Santa Barbara asked us to come here to teach all of you how to party.
We like to party. We like to party.
That's right.
Pretty short party, but it's good.
Yes. Well, because there's 3 things you need to know about how to party. Correct?
This is true.
The number 1 thing you need to know about partying is you have to stay hydrated with plenty of hydrogenation with basically lots of horchata.
And the second thing is you need to be running high on energy. And so when you're running low on energy, you just pop open a couple of these.
That's
drink
right.
like 3 or 4 of them. You'll be up for like 20 to 25 hours. This 5-hour energy. I'm good at math.
That's right. So you drink at least 4 of these. So you can have lots of energy to party.
Oh, that's good.
Wait, are we on number 2 or number 1?
We're on number 3 now.
Oh, number 3. The
I
third
just
thing
have
you need to
running
know
low on energy and I need something.
about party. Hold on. I got 1 more left.
Okay.
Is you need to be. Sorry.
I think I'm good with 2. We don't have time. Got like 10 hours.
That's only 10, bro.
That's 10 hours.
The third thing you need to know is you need to be very, very spicy like a hot jalapeno.
¿Qué?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, as you can see, we're very, very handsome fellows. Very, very spicy. But we weren't always like this. We had to dig down deep into our corazon to find the spiciness.
It means heart.
Exactly.
Oh, you're right. We weren't always this spicy.
Nope.
And to prove to you, Ocean Hills, that we could take anybody in this church.
That's right.
We're going to take the 2 very most un-spicy people and teach you how to be a spicy. So, first of all, can we get Pastor John Ireland?
Just stand right here, my friend. Stand right here. And the second person?
Oh, that's going to be hard. What about Ryan Warner's.
That's right. Okay, well, you guys are gonna help them become spicy. Ryan, you come on this side, sorry. So we need your help, or they need your help to be spicy, because to find the spiciness within, you need to be quick on your feet, and you need to be spicy with everybody around you. So
That's not exactly how it sounds. Just wait for it, listen.
this game in my country is called a.
But in America, it's called Pocket Scavenger Hunt.
That's right. So I'm gonna say something like chapstick, and you guys are gonna run out to the audience, and you guys are gonna help them out and get a chapstick, and you're gonna give it to John or Ryan, and then they're gonna come up on stage, and the first one to retrieve that item that me or Yata say wins that round. You understand? Okay, here we go. You guys ready? Ladies, getting those purses out.
Because
Here we go.
everything's in there.
Here we go. Wait, you gotta step behind the little.
Hey,
Okay, here we go.
We don't cheat
the
here.
first thing you need to retrieve is an out-of-state license plate.
Driver's license.
Driver's license. Out-of-state driver's license. Go! Out-of-state driver's license. Oh, bam, right here. This is from Minnesota.
where's that?
I don't know.
It's by New Mexico.
Okay, point for John. Okay, here we go. The next thing you need to find, dental floss.
We don't want no cavities. We don't want no cavities. Oh!
Wait. Hold on. Hold on. No, wait. This is not dental. This is.
It's floss. Look.
Okay. We'll give it to you. Okay. We'll give point for Ryan.
Hey, senor, you probably don't want to use that anymore.
Okay, the next thing that I need from you is a shoelace. No, shoelace.
That is a shoe.
A
What
single
do I do with
shoelace.
that?
A single shoelace. One
Oh, no.
single shoelace. One single shoelace. Oh, he got it.
Oh,
my
you have a
goodness.
winner. I said a shoelace, not a shoe with a lace
Come
in
on.
it.
That's English. You should understand.
This is my second language, and I know that.
Okay, what's the
But you're
score
still
here?
my friend.
Here we go. We're gonna do one more, I think. Here we go. We're gonna do 2 watches. Oh, I'm good. Oh! You can't take the whole person.
Hey, I just explained to Ryan that you cannot have the shoe with the lace and you cannot have the watch with the person.
Okay. Well, thank you guys. Give them a round of applause. I think it was a tie.
It was a tie. They're both winners.
You guys both win. Okay. Well, thank you so much. We gotta get going because
Somewhere, someplace, there's a party without a piñata.
I'm Pin.
And I'm Yata.
We love horchata. We wear chanclas. And you can't have a party without piñata.
All right.
How's it going?
Hey, we're not really Pin and Yata.
No.
I know.
We're not.
I'm actually Eddie, and I go to Ocean Hills, but before that, I met the Lord through Young Life in high school.
Yeah, and yes. I'm not Pin, I'm Felipe. I'm the Associate Area Director here in Santa Barbara with Young Life, and we don't take ourselves too seriously, as you guys
As you can
saw.
tell.
And we use humor in such a unique way that we make kids laugh, but also it's a gateway for them to hear the gospel, to hear about Jesus. And so what you're going to watch next is actually kids from Santa Barbara who met the Lord sometime in the last 4 years. I think there's a variety of kids, but they're from Santa Barbara, and they met the Lord. And there's gonna I'll just let you see the video. It speaks for itself. So thank you guys so much, and
Thank you.
All this Could all that is lost ever be found? Could a garden come up from this ground at all? You make beautiful things. You make beautiful things out of the dust. You make beautiful things. You make beautiful things out of us. All around, hope is springing up from this old ground. Out of chaos, life is being found in you. You make beautiful things. You make beautiful things out of the dust. You make beautiful things. You make beautiful things out of us. Oh, you make beautiful things. You make beautiful things out of the dust. You make beautiful things. You make beautiful things out of You make me new. You are making me new. You make me new. You are making me new. Making me new. You make beautiful things. You make beautiful things out of the dust. You make beautiful things. You make beautiful things out of us. Oh, you make beautiful things. You make beautiful things out of the dust.
Why do I come up after things like that? I know all those kids by name. Those are their own words describing their life before and after Jesus Christ. I wanted to point this out to you. In your program, you've got an envelope, and it's got kind of a ways to get involved and giving card. So if you look at the get involved part, we are shorthanded leaders, especially at Dos Pueblos High School and San Barbara High School. We also need people to pray for us. Holy smokes, do we need people to pray for me. We need meals. We need people to drive cars. We need the hands and feet of Jesus to help us reach these kids, as well as to give us advice. We, like Ocean Hills, have a leadership team of adults that help us with the direction and the vision for our area. And so that's another way to get involved with the area committee or to help with golf. Also on here, for your convenience, you can also give a gift financially to Young Life. This is the beginning of our fiscal year, October is. So any gifts that are one-time gifts at this point help us shuttle into the new fiscal year. But I will tell you that our bread and butter has been monthly giving. It has kept us healthy throughout the year. And so if you were going to write a check one time for $100, maybe consider making that a $10 a month gift. That's a Chipotle burrito or a Big Blenders or 2 cups at Starbucks to help reach kids that actually sit in this auditorium that don't know who Jesus Christ is. If you throw that in the envelope, and there'll be baskets after the service, you can throw those in there, and we will contact you if you want to be involved. I don't know how to make this transition from that into the actual message, so I'm just going to say we're going to transition into the message now. I'm a lifelong runner. I joined a club track when I was 9, which was not cool. I'm sure many of you are like, I didn't even know club track existed. That's right, but my parents signed me up for it. And so I've been a lifelong runner, and about 9 years ago, blew out both my knees in a half marathon. And since then, had multiple problems with my knees. There's multiple problems. It's not just one. One physical therapist and 2 orthopedic surgeons later, I still have a lot of problems and pain. And recently, I've been waking up in the middle of the night because my knees are throbbing. Now, most of you, when I've interacted with you on a daily basis or up here, you would never guess in a million years that I have knee pain that exists all the time. In fact, I think a lot of us have some sort of physical pain that maybe we live with all the time. But the reality is that a lot of us, our teenagers especially, but this does not exclude adults, live with pain all the time, and we've learned how to cover it up so that when people interact with us, we look like we're totally fine, and people have no idea of the things that we're carrying underneath the surface. That is true for us. That is definitely true for our teenagers. The good news is this. Jesus Christ meets us in our pain. Jesus Christ meets people in their pain. And to give an example, we're going to look at Mark 9. And it starts with, as soon as people saw Jesus, they were overwhelmed with wonder and ran to greet him. I don't know why people think Jesus is boring or that he's stodgy, because when you hear the words, people were filled with wonder and ran to greet him, that is like how I feel when I enter into the gates at Disneyland. It's not just I'm excited, it's the wonder of walking into the magical land where everything's clean and there's giant churros and turkey legs, and I run to that Pirates of the Caribbean ride. Filled with wonder and ran to greet Jesus. And a man in the crowd said, "Teacher, I brought you my son who's possessed by a spirit that has robbed him of speech. Whenever it seizes him, it throws him to the ground. He foams at the mouth, gnashes his teeth, and becomes rigid." What does that sound like? A seizure? What's funny is I do this to high school students, they yell out the answers, and adults are like, I don't know. Do I raise my hand? It does sound like a seizure. And they brought him to Jesus. And Jesus asks a question that I think is one of the most important questions he could ask. He asked the boy's father, how long has he been like this? The reason that that's an important question is because it acknowledges that there may have been a time that he wasn't like this. We have a man who looks at his son and says, there is something wrong with my boy's life. This is not the life he's supposed to know. He is supposed to know a different version of life. And when Jesus says, how long has he been like this? He is acknowledging that this is a condition this boy is living in, but it's not the way life is supposed to be. There was a darkness that entered this boy's life that robbed him of real life. And they started living this different version. And then accepted that as reality. That's so true for definitely our teenagers and for us. That somehow something became broken in life, whether it was the impact of our own sin or someone else's sin on us, where we understood what fear is, anger, betrayal, abandonment, disappointment. We understood what those were, to the point where that becomes a reality for so many people. Our kids anticipate pain. They anticipate being let down. They anticipate someone walking away from them. Because that's the reality that we've looked at the world and said, this must be as good as it gets. Life is tough. Life is hard. Get over it. And the sooner you accept that, the easier this will all be on all of us. We've accepted this totally broken version of life and then chosen to live in that pain all the time because people have said, life is pain. The truth is, it's settling. It's settling. If Christ is life, if Jesus said I had come to have life and life to the full, why are we settling? How long have we been like this? How long have we looked at our own lives and said, I'm damaged goods. I've struggled with this thing for way too long. I've been let down by way too many people. This is just what life is. We start to operate out of our own pain, out of our own anger, out of our own fear, out of our own betrayal. And when we understand this about us, and we understand this about kids, that we understand why people run to any escape they possibly can. If this is what life is, if the reality of life is that it's just full of anger and pain and brokenness and hardship, why wouldn't we run to any escape we could possibly get? Whether it's through relationships or alcohol or drugs or pornography, why wouldn't we? Because it would just be a temporary escape from what real life is. That's when we can understand our teenagers and say, of course, if this is the version of life you're buying into, why wouldn't you run to any escape you could possibly get, even for just a minute? How long have we lived like this? Looking at this question recognizes that this is not the way life was supposed to be, and life was not always like this. From childhood, the father answered, it is often thrown him into the fire or water to kill him. How much is the stuff in our life just tore us apart to the point where it could bring us? Like, it's just killing us. It's just killing us. But if you can do anything, take pity on us and help us. And I like that he says, if you can do anything. There's a little bit of desperation in there, and there's some hope, but there's not, I'm totally sure you can do this. There is if it's even possible, could you please take pity on us and do something? If you can't, Jesus said, everything is possible for him who believes. And immediately the boy's father exclaimed, I do believe, help me overcome my unbelief. Which I love because I think that's about the perfect answer that reaches me for sure. He says, I believe, but I have doubt. I believe, but I have questions. Could even be, I want to believe, but I'm scared of what's waiting for me on the other side. And Jesus responds, well, when you're 100% sure, come back. No, he doesn't say that. No. Jesus meets people in their pain. He doesn't wait and say, I'm here, and when you make your way all the way over here, then we can talk about a new life. He meets this man where he is, in that mixture of doubt and of belief, of questions and of assurance. And he said to this little boy, you deaf and mute spirit, he said, I command you, get out of him and never enter him again. And the spirit shrieked, convulsed him violently, and came out. It didn't go without a fight. Darkness in our life doesn't go without a fight. That stunk, that stuff that's killing us, doesn't go without a fight. And we know that. Because every time we think, I'm going to be better, and we mess up, we go back to that square one, and then we feel like we've taken a few even more steps backward. If it was that easy, New Year's resolutions, they'd just stacking up. We'd be like, woo, high-fiving each other all the time. I did my New Year's resolution. Well, duh, we all do. That would be our response, but that's not it. The boy looked so much like a corpse that many said, he's dead. I don't know if there's anyone in this room that everyone said, don't even look at that person. They are so far gone. Jesus can't get to them. They're too far gone. We look at a lot of our teenagers in the world and we say, oh goodness, what is this world coming to? You can't go after that kid. They're too far gone. They're basically dead. Go after the one you probably can get, but forget about that person because they're dead. And here we have a bunch of people saying, this boy looks like he's dead. But Jesus took him by the hand, lifted him to his feet, and he stood up. And this boy begins a new version of life that only Jesus could give him. We have to remember that this whole thing started with someone looking at this boy's life and saying, there's something wrong with the way this boy is living. His version of life is not the version of life he's supposed to be living. The father said, this is wrong. I got to do something about it. But you'll notice, if the father could do something about it, I'm positive he would have. I'm positive he would have. If I could save kids, oh, I so would. I can't tell you how many times I just want to hug everyone and just make like, oh, just take all the bad and junk away and wish you didn't deal with this and that and the other. You would be shocked at the things, maybe not, that we just hear kids talk about in their lives. I want to take it away. I can't. The one thing that I can do, the one thing that this man does is get him in front of Jesus. And with that kind of trembling, like, I'm not totally sure you can do something, but if you can, could you please give new life? We can't fix ourselves. If we could, we would. There is only one person who provides new life, and that is Jesus Christ. The question we all have to answer for ourselves is this. If Jesus was standing in front of you and offered you his hand, would you take it? Would you stand up? Would you start a new version of life that only Jesus can give? And if you have taken his hand, are you looking back at that old version and saying, I thought that's what life was. Isn't that what life is? Instead of looking forward to what Jesus is actually giving us. A brand new life and life to the full. I'm going to close in prayer and I'm going to invite John Ireland to come back up. God, thank you so much for sending your son. And if there are things that we are settling for, bring them to our brain. Let us lay them before you, Lord, and let's jump into your arms, not just take your hand. Amen. Amen.